like it. I think I like it. Got nothing to lose. 'Cause I think I like it. Tell me if you like me
Hello everyone and welcome to the playoffs for the University UK Esports and Republic of Ireland Winter 2023 Women and Non-Binary Valorant season. My name is Crystal and I am joined today by my lovely colorcaster. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, my name's Evelyn. I am indeed joined by Crystal, and today we've got a best of 3 in Valorant. We've got the teams Bubble Bar versus Aimbot Angels.
Definitely, yes, and obviously this is our first game of playoffs so far. So we're really going to be seeing these teams kind of battling it out between themselves to see who is going to be able to get themselves to those live finals in early December. Now, Evelyn, what do you think we're really going to be looking out for today from these two teams to see who is going to come out on top?
Well, firstly, I know that the first map that we're going to is Ascent, and I believe that the two team compositions are going to be very similar for this map. I think we might even see a mirror composition, and if it comes down to that, I really think it's going to be just a case of who can play the composition better for that map.
Definitely, yes. I mean, Valorant is one of those games where, it's all about compositions, and it's all about the very minute details, I'd say. You can place one smoke wrong or use one ability wrong and everything will just kind of go downhill for your team. So I think definitely, yes, it's going to be a case of seeing how these two teams kind of use the team compositions to their advantage, but also how they kind of use the specialties of the map itself to their advantage. So for Ascent, for example, mid is going to be a very, very important part of how the teams kind of use the map to their advantages. Mid is a very open space. So what do you think are kind of some of the main points of mid, or some of the main things that the teams can do to be able to use mid to their advantage?
Well, I think the first thing is that obviously I think Omen's probably going to be a pretty popular pick for the smoker. I think if you have Omen, you have those versatile smokes, you're going to be able to take ground and deny angles quite a lot. I think mid, you've got those long angles. Probably going to see maybe a few jet peaks with the operator. So I think Omen's definitely going to be quite key there. I think obviously you might have a Sova pick, then you've got the drone. for intel, and then obviously the recon dart.
Definitely, yes. And I mean, as we find ourselves going into Agent Select here, we are going to see exactly what these teams are going to pull out from, their list of agents. And I mean, we talk about the mirror compositions all the time, the Jet, the Sova, the Killjoy, the Brimstone, and then usually a KO as well. So we're just going to see if we are going to see those pretty meta comps, or if we're going to see something different being pulled out from the teams. And I mean, as I see on my screen here, we're seeing some Brimstones instead of some Omens.
I think Brimstone, I mean, you definitely have a bit more, I think, with the smokes. I think Omen maybe, like, you've got the Paranoia, which can be used aggressively and defensively if you need to back up. Brimstone, I think, obviously, you've got a lot of area denial and for post-plant potential if you've got his ult. As well, I think the Killjoy, I'm not too surprised about the Killjoy pick here. I think, obviously, you've got post-plant, you've got the turret, you've got the anchor. I mean, I definitely hate those nano swarm grenades, honestly, trying to push into sites.
Definitely, yes. And I mean, we are seeing from both sides very similar compositions, except for Bubble Bath have switched out the KO for the Sky. That's not something you usually see on this map, but I mean, I guess they can end up using the dogs for a bit more information and, A and B main. But what do you think Bubble Bath are kind of thinking with the Sky pick here?
I think Bubble Bath for the Sky pick, I think obviously with the KO, you've got your lineup, so you might be able to get more intel aggression. I think Sky very much you can take a bit more control with your dog, with the flashes. You might be able to get those entry picks a bit more easily.
Definitely, yeah. And I mean, definitely we're going to have to see how the Jets on both sides play here, as Jet is going to be the key point of entry for both of these teams, and Bubble Bath with the Sky may be able to kind of use some sort of dog and then get the Jet in there, or use the dog and the blinds to kind of make sure the Jet gets into the game itself. But we do see a bit of delay coming here from both of the teams. But while we're talking about this, let's go back to the map itself, Ascent. This one is a very popular pick from a bunch of teams, I think, but it's also one that can be quite repetitive. So is there anything unique you kind of want to see from these teams that they can pull out on this map?
I believe we talked about it earlier. I think the Sky pick, it's a little bit of an off pick. I think we agreed that a Phoenix would be quite interesting to see with the flashes. I think if you are going to go Omen, or maybe even obviously the Brimstone pick that we saw in Agent Select, I think any sort of smoker, you have the potential to perhaps use those Sky flashes or the Phoenix flashes to try get a flash when you peek out that smoke. I think that'd be something kind of interesting to see. I think as well, maybe if we were going to go with like the Sova and the recon darts, I mean, it's not something perhaps unique, but I would kind of like to see a wall bang. I know obviously Sova, you've got like quite the easy intel that you can gather, and obviously B lobby. But a lot of walls are quite paper thin on Ascent.
Definitely, yes. And I mean, now that we've spoken about the map itself, let's have a look at the players on the teams. Now, Bubble Bath has quite a lot of players with some pretty good history with their team and some pretty good kind of reputation amongst Bubble Bath. But then Aimbot Angels, they also have a lot of experience with Null and NSE, as well as both of these teams have VCT game changers, which is going to make this really exciting, because it means that we're going to be seeing players with that experience and with that knowledge and with that confidence going against each other. So I don't know about you, but I'm expecting pretty big things out of these players.
No, I absolutely agree. I think, like I touched on a little bit earlier, I think it's genuinely going to just come down to who can play the composition better. I think with these mirror picks like Jet, I mean, I don't want to be the one to say it, but we could see a Jet diff. I think obviously that entry is going to be very important. I think obviously those entry picks, those first initial picks getting onto site are going to be like big breakthroughs. So yeah, we might see a few agent diffs in the picks. So I'd quite like to see how both the teams play it.
Definitely, yes. And now that we're back into the Agent Select, we are seeing the same compositions come out from both teams. Bubble Bath are running the Sky, whereas Aimbot Angels, they are running the KO with both teams running the Brimstone. I know I said it earlier, but I'm still really interested to see how this Brimstone is going to be played on this map, because the one thing you have to be careful with Brimstone is that his smokes don't refresh. So you have to be really careful and really precise with where you put your smokes and how you use them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's going to be a lot of key points that the Brimstones are going to need to smoke. I think, for example, like, you know, you've got like the lobby control, you've got market, you've got mid that you want to hold, you've got maybe even like, you know, your entries to A. You want to be careful, obviously, if you're going to be smoking off A heaven. You know, there's a lot of possibilities. And again, with the Brimstone, I mean, post plant, you've got your Molly lineups, you've got the ult if you want to use it. I think like it's going to be an interesting one to see of like smoke lineups.
Definitely, yeah. There's a lot of post-plant potential for both of these teams. Obviously, they're both running the Killjoy, so the lockdown is going to become really handy here. And then the Hunter's Fury from both of the servers on both sides as well is going to be important. But another thing I'm interested to see is how the KO uses their null command, because obviously getting those suppressors off on the enemy team are really, really important. You know, them only being able to use their weapons and not having any abilities to their military is going to be really, really key for, you know, the other team to be able to kind of push through and take that to their advantage to see what they can do when, you know, the enemy team don't have abilities. So I mean, I think this null command is definitely going to come in handy for the Aimbot Angels.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think obviously the KO pick as opposed to the Sky pick, like discussed a little bit earlier, I think that definitely KO, like you have that aggression, you have that ability to shut down, and like you could create space with it quite a lot. You could get the intel. I think Sky, obviously, you're opting for a bit more of like an entry with the flashes, taking like a bit more space. I think like what the teams have decided by choosing the picks like retrospectively, we'll have to see how it kind of like suits the comp style, because obviously throughout the rest of the board we're seeing the mirror comps apart from those two picks. So I think we're gonna have to see how the teams play with those different picks.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I think we've focused a lot on the aggressive side here, but let's look at the defense. Obviously, both teams have the Killjoy, so having the Killjoy to be able to anchor the site is going to be something that's going to be really important. But what I want to see is the difference between the Sky and the KO and how they use their utility defensively. They may end up playing a bit more aggressively towards the mains of the sites, you know, them like flashing around the corner and peeking and trying to get a pick or two. But what kind of defenses do you think we're going to be seeing from both of these teams?
I think that obviously the nano swarms, you gotta hate them with the setups on site. I think Killjoy setups are going to be a big one. Obviously, like you mentioned, the defensive lockdown. I think post plants are going to be a big part, and the retakes. I think obviously if you've got these characters like the Sova ults coming up, you're going to have to like be prepared for like the Brimstone ults. You're going to have to be prepared for these retakes on the defensive side.
Of course, and I mean, like you said, it's just going to be a case of who is playing these agents better. Kind of, we're just going to have to see, like, where, like, who's going to do what. And, you know, we are seeing the Aimbot Angels on the defense to begin with, and Bubble Bath are going on the offense, starting off attacking. So let's have a look at what these teams are going to pull out for us today. Our first game of the playoffs starts right now. 10 seconds. Oh, never mind. Sorry, we do have a pause. But we are getting closer and closer to this game starting by the second. We're just gonna have to see, you know, like, what's gonna happen? I'm looking forward to the Killjoy plays. I used to play Killjoy quite a lot on this map myself. So yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to the Killjoy, definitely. But let's talk about the Sova picks as well. Obviously, Sova is a very popular pick on a map like Ascent. So kind of, what kind of things are you expecting from both of the Sovas here to make sure that they can capitalize off of all the utility?
I think the big one for Sova is going to be the recon darts of the lineups. We could see Loon already, you know, pulling out the bow and arrow, getting ready for a recon dart there. So yeah, I think recon darts is going to be a big one, especially into B lobby. You know, if we see an Ares or an Odin, later on. Like I mentioned, I think there's a lot of wallbang potential on this map. I think obviously like the shock arrows for post plants and the Sova ult, and like especially with the drone for the intel and like destroying any utility like killjoy turrets and nano swarms, and maybe even if there's some good lineups, maybe even destroying that pesky lockdown from killjoy.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, the shock darts are, I think, a really important part of Sova's kit, but one that is often quite overlooked, you know. I think because people see them as like quite low damage that we don't quite focus on them that much, but so in reality, Sova shock darts are a very important part of this kit, you know. They deal damage, they can break utility, they can be, I mean, think of like B main where the killjoy setup is in lane. Imagine like the possibilities of like the Sova shock darts coming in and just destroying the killjoy utility to allow a safe push through B main. The shock darts itself are, you know, very, very important. But yeah, I think another thing we want to point out is how the Jets kind of use their utility and focus their aggression. So, I mean, what kind of things do we expect out of Jets, especially at this level on a map like Ascent?
I think Jet's going to be a big one with like dashing into site and taking space and control immediately. With the Brimstones, I think you're going to have that. You're going to have a little bit more smokes. Obviously, you've got like the additional smoke as opposed to if you're playing someone like Omen. So I think that like Jet, obviously with the smokes herself, there's going to be a lot of entering onto site, and obviously with that Sky pick, I think that the flashes are going to come in handy as opposed to like obviously the KO that's going to provide a bit more aggression and intel maybe on the defensive side, but could potentially be more of a struggle on attacking. Obviously, you're not going to be able to have like many lineups. You're not going to be able to throw your knives through that little window on B lobby and get any intel. I think Sky with the dog and everything is definitely going to be able to help clear some of that site, along with the entry picks that's going to be with Jet dashing on.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. But you know, we're kind of seeing we're getting some sneak peeks of what the buyers are looking like already. We see the Killjoy with the turret on top of the little hut outside B main, which is a typical one, making sure that they can get the vision through mid as well to make sure that they know if anyone's flanking them if they were to push B. But I'm curious if we're going to see any kind of lurking Killjoys from either side here, because a good Killjoy lurk, especially on attack, well, obviously on attack, is very, very helpful and could be very useful for the team that is attacking. So, do you think we're gonna see any kind of lurks from either of these Sentinels?
Like you said, I think so far it's looked quite standard with a Killjoy anchoring and placing down her utility on site. I think, yeah, if the Killjoy was to lurk, I think it would definitely catch the opposing team off guard quite a lot. Typically, obviously, the Sova would rotate, and the Killjoy would anchor. However, I think that, like, yeah, like you said, I think a Killjoy, you know, you're not going to expect it coming. They don't have the Omen pick, which, like, maybe you've got the paranoia to use aggressively or defensively if you need to back out, which maybe you'd see lurk a bit more, especially with the Omen ult. But Killjoy, I don't know.
Yeah, obviously it's going to be a bit kind of difficult because without a Sentinel, like, playing with the rest of the team, flanks are going to be a bit of an issue. But I think if they just have, like, someone watching it, it'll be kind of, you know, it'll be a bit easier for them to push. But we are actually going to go to a break quickly, just because we are having some tech issues with one of the players. But we will be back very, very soon.
I don't wanna fall for you, oh no. But you make it so hard. Watching you dance all night, baby, is making me fall hard. Trying to take a deep breath, but I just can't control my lungs. Ooh. Trying to hide my cold sweat, but I just keep on talking in tongues. It's a funny situation that I got myself into. I can help my own frustration. think I like it. I think I like it. Got nothing to lose. 'Cause I think I like you. Tell me if you like me too. How can you move the way you do? It's making me crazy, yeah. You're moving just like you own the room. Make it look easy. I wanna take you away to somewhere we can be by ourselves. I see you looking my way, so maybe it's not all in my head. It's a funny situation that I got myself into. I can't help my own frustration. 'Cause I think, yeah, I think I like it. I think I like it. Got nothing to lose. 'Cause I think I like it. Tell me if you like me too. Tell me what can I do now? 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 Sometimes I let my guard down. Tell me what can I do now? Sometimes I let my guard down. Tell me what can I do now? Tell me what can I do Tell me what can I do Tell me what can Tell me what can I do Tell me what can I do Tell me what can I do now?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Women and Non-Binary Valorant playoffs for the University UK and Republic of Ireland Esports League. We are back, hoping to get our game on Ascent going through very, very shortly. We do apologize for the technical difficulties, but while we're at it, let's talk a bit about the other maps that we have in store for us, because we've spoken a lot about Ascent and we've spoken about the players quite a bit already, but let's talk about the other maps that we have in store for us. We have Haven coming up next. What do you think the main differences are going to be between a map like Ascent and a map like Haven?
Well, I think on Ascent, obviously, you've got quite a lot of your choke points on your entry to site. However, Haven, you've got those free sites. You have a lot more pathways onto said sites, which is going to make the agents quite a bit more split, as well as your utility is going to be a lot more diluted. So I think, it's going to be quite important to know when to be rotating, when to be anchoring, and when to be putting like that utility and where to be making use of it.
Of course, yeah. And I mean, with Haven, especially on defense, you've kind of got to figure out like who you're putting where and like where everyone's going to be playing and using their utility. But Haven is just such a different map, I think, compared to everything else. If you do think about those 3-site maps, you have to think about like your aggression and where you're playing a lot more, I think. Because obviously 3 sites means there's more space, there's more places for the enemy team to come through, and you've just got to make sure that you can hold those angles and kind of make sure that you have every part of the map spread out. But obviously, we're not going to Haven just yet. We are loading into Ascent now. What kind of opening are you expecting from Bubble Bath, who are on the attack here? What kind of plays are we expecting for the pistol round?
Well, based off what we're seeing currently, we're seeing the Killjoys obviously use their standard turret placement. We could see, obviously, for the Angels side, they've got the Killjoy turret placed in mid to be watching all of those sight lines. And obviously, it looks like they might even be looking to fake B lobby or push B lobby. I think we can see some of the players from Bubble Bath off looking mid and A. And that Killjoy turret's probably just going to look for anyone overextending.
Definitely, yeah. And I mean, we're seeing a Sky and a Brimstone push in through mid here, which is kind of an interesting push, I'd say, from Bubble Bath. But we're getting the Sova recon darts kind of thrown out, making sure that there's no one kind of coming through in any of the different angles. And I mean, we're seeing quite a lot of people go through mid here for the side of Bubble Bath. We're seeing a very, very heavy mid push. Kind of the Killjoy on the side of Bubble Bath going through B main. The Brimstone smoke coming down as well. The enemy Killjoy kind of just holding more towards CT, trying to prevent anyone from coming in. But we see the Sova drone, the Sky Heal, and the Jet Dash and the smoke come out all at once. A lovely little entry from Bubble Bath, and it looks like they have sight themselves already.
Absolutely. We can see the recon darts there from Sova proved to be very useful. Getting that knowledge, obviously in the middle, that was initially smoked off. We saw Bubble Bath try push through there with the Brimstone smokes down, but that Sova recon dart caught them all out. Obviously now we saw them with a few smokes down, and a lovely couple picks there. And Blahad looking at another pick, and it's pretty even right now. 3 players up for both sides on the retake.
And I mean, everyone's just trading one after the other. We're seeing, the Jet from the side of Bubble Bath getting a lovely little pick onto the server, but everyone is still just trading back and forth. The Sky is only on 48 HP. A lovely little blind coming through from the KO. Jet has dashed back onto site, and it's a 2v1, a 2v0. Aimbot Angels get the defuse, and they take the first round of this game.
Yeah, that was a very lovely retake there made by Angels. I think obviously with the entry to that site initially from Bubble Bath, we saw the smokes go down, smoking off Market and A main, the CT side. And obviously that gave them the ability for the Jet to dash in, push site, which meant that all the players got on and they were able to sit there in Boathouse as they played for the post plan. However, obviously we saw there that didn't go quite as perhaps they had planned. We saw that Angels were able to get those entry picks with their smokes and then able to clear up the rest of the players from Boathouse.
Definitely, yeah. And I mean, this leaves Bubble Bath on a save round, and Aimbot Angels are on their force, looking to just kind of capitalize off of as many eco frags as they can get. And I mean, we already saw a lovely little pick from the Sova, a lovely 2 picks from the Sova here in mid with the Marshall just taking down everyone one by one and getting a lovely little tag with their recon drone as well. We see the Jet from the side of Aimbot Angels as well, kind of pushing towards mid with the Bulldog. The Killjoy has been spotted out, but with only a classic to their name, there's not much that they are able to do. And a lovely little flawless round from Aimbot Angels. I mean, that just happened all so quickly. And I mean, Jet and Sova did everything for them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Sovas definitely played quite a key role in that round, as we saw. I mean, I suppose the initial first pick from a Marshall definitely didn't help Bubble Bath's side. However, like you said, I think the Sovs definitely played a key part. There's a lot of Sov utility getting that intel. The drone came out and they were able to just clear up the round from a back of middle. But now, we're seeing quite heavy buy coming out from the side of Bubble Bath. Do you think this round's going to go differently?
I think it could. It's always interesting seeing how teams who were just on their save round kind of use their next buy round to their advantage, obviously with Vandals in their hand and Sova getting a few bits of damage onto Nut over here for the side of Aimbot Angels, but Jet just gets a pick straight up for Bubble Bath, leaving them in a 5v4. Obviously this is more of like a save round, so be it for Aimbot Angels, but we're seeing some jet smokes and some lovely little sky flashes come out from the side of Bubble Bath, trying to make their way onto the B site. But do they know that the Killjoy is here? Would they definitely do now? Is the Killjoy, is Bella able to get anything off for? Not quite. That's 2 picks for the side of Bubble Bath, and Astra coming in with a pick for Aimbot Angels as well, but it's a 4v2. It's a 4v1, and they get a lovely little sneak, but Bubble Bath do end up bringing it back, giving themselves a round on the board.
Absolutely. We did talk about it a tiny bit earlier. You talked about a bit of a Killjoy lag. I think that they maybe got a little bit trigger happy seeing in the boathouse. They swung quite early. Their Bubble Bath, they weren't making the same mistake again. They're in that position. They cleared boathouse. They were able to get clear the site and clear the rest of the players as well. I think that round went a bit more in their favor. Obviously, with the buy, maybe helping them a little bit more. But now we're seeing the buys come out from both the players, so I have to see how this round goes.
Yes, for sure. And we're seeing, like you said, more even loadouts from both teams here. Obviously, Aimbot Angels do have a little bit of a lead by 1 round, but we're just gonna have to see what both of these teams can do with proper weapons in their hand and full utility. We do see Bella kind of, trying to sneak through mid here. Queen of Spades on the sky, kind of sneaking up more towards the A side. Blaha on the jet as well, kind of hiding in the smoke, and does unfortunately get spotted out by the Silver Drone. But do they know that the rest of their team's there? I'm not quite sure they do. And we're seeing a lot of shock darts coming out, and we are seeing an Odin come out from the Silver on the side of Aimbot Angels, actually, and it's already a 4v2. The jet just kind of pushing through the smoke straight away, though, and Pyke is just able to come straight on site and get that spike down, but it's such a shame that the jet is so low, and that is the round already done. Aimbot Angels getting a 3rd round for themselves on the board.
Absolutely. I think Angels definitely played that round quite well there when all of Bubble Bath found themselves stuck in that tiny little bit by B doors. They had the Odin, sorry. And I don't think I'd see it quite this early, but you Sova with a recon. You said the shock arrows didn't quite do much damage, but they were definitely doing quite a bit of damage there to all of Bubble Bath that was stuck that tiny bit of the Odin spraying.
Yeah, and like we were talking about before, the Odin can be a very, very useful weapon on a map like Ascent. And we're just seeing the teams pushing through now, kind of Bubble Bath trying to get another pick through B main. The Blaha has popped the jet knives, looking to use the Blade Storm to their advantage, kind of making sure that even though they don't quite have a weapon, just making sure that they have some form of damage that they could do to the enemy team. We see M on the Brimstone, lurking up more towards mid, and Nut still on the KO, kind of just lurking more towards, but Blaha has just gone straight through those smokes and unfortunately misses all of the Blade Storm shots. And the jet on the side of Aimbot Angels is just doing so much damage, and Nut on the KO as well, and a final little pick from the server on the Ares. Wow, that just fell apart for Bubble Bath so quickly. That was really impressive, actually.
Yeah, I think that's a rinse repeat around there for Aimbot Angels. Like I said the round before, it kind of all fell apart there when they were stuck in tree for Bubble Bath with the Odin and the spraying. I think that they went maybe a bit too aggressive initially when they popped the jet ult and obviously made a lot of noise B lobby. They rotated quite successfully, obviously, through middle, but again, it all fell apart when we found ourselves in Tree under that heavy Odin fire. And, you know, they're looking all to try go for A. You know, they've had a bit of success on B before. They've tried to go A, but it didn't go too successfully when they did try. They got pushed back a bit by the KO flashes. So, you know, if the smoke's down immediately, maybe the Cyber Recon dart might sway a bit their favor.
Yes, I mean, we've seen the flash come out straight away, but I mean, Blaha on the Jet is just gets a really good entry pick, but Aim by Angels answer right back with 3 picks of their own, but Queen of Spades on this Sky, getting a nice little trade onto the person that was in heaven, but there's a Killjoy lurking and takes down the Brimstone as well, and also takes down the Killjoy that was lurking in Tree. It's a 1v2. Bubble Bath have managed to bring this back, and they've got the numbers in their favor. We're seeing Queen of Spades get this plant down, and Hellas only has a Sheriff to their name. Like, this is looking like it's gonna go in the favor of Bubble Bath, but now that they've picked up a Phantom, maybe the round will turn around in their favor. They're not quite sure where the last 2 remaining players are. The Killjoy turret is in main, and a lovely little shot onto the Killjoy that was in main, but the Sky is there, and they take them down. What a lovely little clutch from Headless for the side of the Aimbot Angels. That was really impressive. And I mean, Aimbot Angels are 5-1 up now against Bubble Bath. What do you think kind of we need to see from Bubble Bath to make sure that they can bring this kind of stuff back?
Well, I think that round sort of all fell apart a little bit there when, you know, it was 2v1. In theory, that really should have been winnable for Bubble Bath, although, you know, they maybe didn't quite have a Killjoy utility set up. They didn't have a Nano Swarm to stop the spike being diffused to halfway. You know, Headless got a very nice pick there onto the Killjoy sat in A main, and then it was quite an easy finish just to peek A hell and get the second pick. It sort of fell apart where they didn't peek at the same time. Obviously now we can see they're trying to go for a B lobby push, but with the Killjoy utility and the anchor, we can see the smokes come down already. The Jet gonna try and create some space on site. We're gonna have to see how it's gonna go as we try this B push again.
Definitely, yes. I mean, Blaha just getting so much space onto the B site already, and gets a lovely little pick onto Pyke on the server, who was trying to use the Hunter's Fury, but didn't quite land it, as they ended up getting picked off by Blaha. But we see that Asher here on the side of Aimbot Angels has popped the Bladestorm as well, does get stunned by the Trailblazer from the Sky. A little flash from the KO, but gets taken down by Blaha as well. But Asher kind of trading right back, and the round is over already. Aimbot Angels, a 6th round on the board out of the 7 that we have played out so far. This is looking really, really dominant for the side of the Aimbot Angels.
Absolutely. I think Aimbot Angels, they've got their retakes down so nicely there. I think Bubble Bath really need to look at like playing a bit more slow, maybe defaulting a little bit, going a bit slower with their utility usage, maybe not burning it all, as we've seen them time and time again, try and push these sites, try and make space, and it's just not gone well for them. Yeah, maybe they've got the spike down and gotten into these post plots, but they haven't been able to secure them. I think that they really need to try maybe look at like I said, playing a little bit slower, defaulting, waiting for, you know, maybe Aimbot Angels to get a little bit over aggressive.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, they're kind of just trying to rush in as much as they can, and I think we're going to see it again. You know, Blaha with the Spectre trying to run in, but takes down Bella straight away, Headless with a lovely little recon drone. But they do have an operator in their hands trying to probably looking for some picks down mid, but with the aggression that Bubble Bath have, it's just not quite looking like that's what's going to be able to happen. And we're seeing M come in through the CT side. Asher is on site already, just trying to retake the space that Bubble Bath have already taken, and it's a fight to see whether the spike is gonna explode first or whether Aimbot Angels are going to be able to take back this site with a lovely little retake. I mean, we see the Brimhole coming down, and it does take down one, and we're seeing a lovely little, just a nice little cleanup from Aimbot Angels. Wow, it was looking like the situation may have been dire for the Aimbot Angels, not quite able to get a proper retake off, but I mean, they proved us wrong. They just completely swept that round. 7 rounds to their name now. What do you think of that?
I mean, open up both skies. We saw that obviously both Brimstone knots came out of that. It was a lot of area denial. We saw Bubble Bath try and play that post plant. They had the Brimstone knot, and as they played a bit back a Boathouse. I think Aimbot Angels really had the better Brimstone out there, really, with like they used the aerial denial. They zoned out a lot of the players from Boathouse and just they had enough angles just to pick off Bubble Bath one by one.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, we are seeing here kind of a little mid push from Bubble Bath, which we haven't quite seen them yet. But I mean, Nut is just taking them down, and so is Asher on the side of the Aimbot Angels. They're just taking down Bubble Bath one by one, but Luna managing to get a nice little pick, but not quite able to close it out. 8 rounds on the board for the Aimbot Angels. Wow, this is, like I said, this has just been dominant from the Aimbot Angels right off the get-go, and Bubble Bath have only taken 1 round off of the Aimbot Angels, and that was their force against them. So this is not looking the best from Bubble Bath, but it's just looking like they're just trying to go in full aggression, and it's not quite working out for them. So I think we need to see them go a little bit slower.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think as we can see, we've got the Killjoy now anchoring the A site. I think what would be beneficial is for them to play a bit slow, which it looks like they're doing now, to maybe read back the Killjoy setup there. And then maybe also we have the Killjoy on the side of Bubble Bath, you know, just watching, biding their time, hopefully being able to default a little bit, maybe get the pick if not wants to push a little bit further forward. But, you know, I agree. I think play a little bit slower. I'm liking this so far, obviously. I'm hoping that Bubble will be able to read back the Killjoys there, go, right, get a pick. Maybe not as Queen of Spades, takes a lot of HP there and going to find themselves very low.
And I mean, yeah, 5 HP is not a lot to try and survive a round off of either, especially when every member of the enemy team is still alive. But that was lovely from Bella, just getting a nice bit of chip damage onto Bubble Bath, leaving them with nearly 1 man down, basically putting Aimbot Angels in the advantage for the round to begin with. But Nut is here with a lovely little KO flash. Are they going to end up peeking? Not quite. The Sky Flash just come in, and Blaha gets a lovely little pick onto Asher, but the Blaze Storm has been popped, but they only have about 20 HP to their name. The Sky is trying to get the heal, but we see the Brimstones kind of taking each other down, and another lovely pick from the Brimstone on the side of Aimbot Angels, and a third for them. The KO getting a lovely little pick, and that is the round over. Wow. It was looking like maybe Bubble Bath were going to have a little bit of a better round. You know, they were taking things a bit more slower, sure. Sky did end up taking quite a bit of damage that wasn't quite helpful because it left Queen of Spades in a bit of a risky position, and obviously Sky can't heal herself, so it's just not looking like things are working out that well for Bubble Bath.
Yeah, Bubble Bath got a very nice entry pick there with the Jet ult. They got the entry pick, and I was thinking, you know, maybe this push onto B site might go in their way. But obviously, with the HP deficits for Bubble Bath, you know, with a bit of spamming through the smoke, it didn't take much for Aimbot Angels just to clear them up, really.
Definitely, no, and I mean, we were seeing a little bit of clearance out in mid from both of the teams, actually, having a little bit of fight towards top mid, but we're seeing M kind of rotating towards the A side to make sure it's being held, as I mean, this is where Bubble Bath are going to be pushing. We see Bella's Killjoy turret getting a lovely little kind of angle onto Laha, and now the Aimbot Angels know that they're here. It's just a question of, are Bubble Bath going to commit to this, or are they going to end up rotating? Because if they rotate, they have a server waiting for them right in main, but if they commit as well, they still have, Aimbot Angels still have so many people on the side ready to just kind of collapse in on them, and we're seeing that Bubble Bath are actually going to commit to this site, and the Killjoy setup ends up getting 2. Lovely from Bella, but Blaha just cleaning it up one by one, but does go down to M, and it's all up to the Killjoy for Bubble Bath in a 3v1, only a Sheriff in hand. They do manage to take down Nut on the KO, which is very impressive, actually, over in mid. And I mean, they only have 50 HP to their name and only a Sheriff. They do have utility, but there's not going to be much that they can do to actually kind of capitalize off of it. I mean, they're pushing in towards the A main here, but I mean, Aimbot Angels are just ready to answer back straight away, just whiffing their shots on the Brimstone behind Jen, and the Silver in Hell just cleans it up right away. We are now, it's 10-1. We're in the last round of the half. we're seeing both of the Jets on both sides dominating. I mean, this has been a very, very kind of Aimbot Angels heavy half.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been a very dominating half so far for Aimbot Angels. And I think that, maybe the KO pick has been more beneficial than the Sky for Bubble Bath. I think Sky's not been able to get too much utility, hasn't used her dog too much to be clearing angles, taking space. I mean, what do you do really right now if you're currently the Sky player for Bubble Bath?
Yeah, I mean, we did see from Nut a little bit of kind of an aggressive play, but Blaha going in and getting a lovely little 2 for the side of Bubble Bath, trying to maybe get some redemption. Pyke does end up getting the plant down. The Brim Smokes are going down as well, and Blaha gets a 3rd for them. Both of the lockdowns are being popped at the same time. This is the first time we're seeing the lockdowns kind of being pulled out for both of them, but I mean, Headless has just gone in and killed 2. Tried to get the Killjoy lockdown down, but doesn't quite hit. Bella is in a 1v2 for the Aimbot Angels. Are they going to be able to kind of bring this back? The spike is ticking down slowly but surely, but there's Molly's on the spike, and Luna has the Hunter's Fury as well. It's looking very, very dire for the side of Aimbot Angels, but this is looking good for Bubble Bath. They managed to actually... They got themselves another round on the board. So 10-2 at the half. It's looking like Bubble Bath are kind of picking it up just a little bit, but now Bubble Bath are on the defense. So what are we expecting to see from Bubble Bath so that they can kind of tip this game in their favor?
I'm hoping that, I mean, we saw it there a little bit when they did get into that post plant. Granted, it might be a little late for them. When they got into that post plant in the late stages, they were able to use the Sova and use that Killjoy utility. I'm hoping now, but obviously now they're on the defending side, they might be able to get a bit more use out of that Killjoy utility. They might be able to play the Sova a bit better with the recon dots, with the recon drone. I'm hoping that, maybe the Sky pick didn't bode too well for them on the attack, even though we did see it go well for them at the end with the Sky. Or maybe it would be more beneficial for them on this defense. We can see, obviously, Queen of Spades holding the bird out for middle.
Definitely, yeah, and I mean, a lot of the times people do kind of describe Ascent as a bit of a defender-sided map, but Bella kind of surviving on scrapes of health over in top mid over there. And I mean, Pyke getting a lovely 2 and Headless trading with 2 right back. It's a 2v2, but both team members on the side of the Aimbot Angels are extremely low. We have 2 HP on the side of the Killjoy. We have maybe about 15 HP for the Sova. This is going to be a difficult push for them, especially because the 2 teammates still left alive for the side of Bubble Bath are a Sova and a Killjoy. Bella does manage to get some nice little damage onto Luna, but is it going to be enough for them to be able to win the round? Headless does get the plant down, which is going to give them some extra credits to use towards the next round, but we're seeing Luna kind of sneak up towards the Heaven side, and I mean, Bubble Bath try and Aimbot Angels try and recon drone it out, but I mean, it does get a ping on Luna, getting the recon dot up there as well. They now know that both of the team members are up in heaven, and the server down in hell manages to get a pick, but out Otsuke manages to clean it up. A 3rd round for Bubble Bath on the board. Defense going a little bit better, I think, for Bubble Bath than the offense, but it was still very close. We see 21 HP left on out Otsuke, so... I mean, do you think this half is going to be where Bubble Bath bring it back?
I mean, so far, like how it's been playing out, I think definitely Bubble Bath have finally been able to find that Killjoy utility usage. I think obviously, Killjoy might obviously have her benefits playing on the attack, but obviously on the defense, Bubble Bath, they're having the turret, they're having the anchoring. They've been able to find these picks, I think especially as well, with the Sky and the Sky's utility, they've been able to make use of the flashes, as we saw very early in that pistol round. Although now we've got a bit more heavy loadouts, we've got a couple buys coming out for a team, so I think this could go a little bit differently this round.
It could be, yeah. And I mean, we saw from Aimbot Angels when they're on their force that they managed to get a clean, flawless, but are we going to be able to see Bubble Bath do the same? We're just going to have to wait and see. We do see Aimbot Angels kind of going more towards this B side push, but out Osuke already has the Killjoy setup all prepared for them. Some smokes do come down, but Pyke has just mollied it already for them, but Asher is already into the site, but Aosuke has spotted them out, and are they going to be able to get a pick? Yes, they do, but M trades right back, but Pyke also gets that pick onto M, leaving Aimbot Angels at a man disadvantage. They do manage to get the spike down, which means that they're going to have a bit more credits for them to use in the next round, and Luna and Blaha just kind of cleaning it up one by one, and Bella, on such little health, is not quite able to do anything. A lovely little round from Bubble Bath, giving them 4 on the board. They are slowly but surely climbing their way up to get even with the Aimbot Angels, but I don't think that round was as clean as Bubble Bath wanted, so kind of, what are we expecting from them in these next few rounds?
I think with that round specifically, I think Aimbot Angels certainly took a leaf per se out of Bubble Buff's book when they found themselves very secluded in the back of the B site, and Bubble Buff were able to find these picks on them. I think, you know, maybe in the future rounds, should Aimbot Angels go towards that B site again, I think Bubble Buff have that site locked down. They know how to play it. Maybe from their mishaps in the previous round, but you know, I'm hoping they'll be able to play that side a bit better. Obviously, now we can see that Angels are opting to play for this aggressive like recon drone that's taking up some space on A main. We're seeing the ult come out as well.
I mean, definitely, yeah, the Hunter's Fury coming in was very, very nice, and we're just kind of seeing the Aimbot Angels kind of shift their focus over towards the other side of the map. I mean, Headless is kind of lurking more towards the A side, maybe trying to get a pick or two before they leave, and a lovely little headshot onto Queen of Spades there. This is definitely going to draw some more attention over to the A side, and another lovely headshot onto Luna as well. This is looking really, really good for Aimbot Angels, and I mean, this might just give them the space that they need to hit the B site. You know, the smokes do come down from Bubble Bath, but Blaha is ready to surprise the Aimbot Angels and does manage to get 1 and 2 and 3! Incredible from Blaha, getting a lovely little run and gun 3 and 4! But the question is, can they get the ace? Bella is at 150 HP with a Vandal and a 1v2. 25 seconds left are on the clock. But are they going to be able to kind of finish this off? I'm not quite sure. And Blaha with the ace for the side of Bubble Bath. Wow, that was just incredible. The Spectre, the run and gun. Wow, what do you think of that, Evelyn?
I'm so happy we managed to see an ace so far in this tournament. I think, like, initially, obviously, we saw Sova from Aimbot get those first 2 picks onto A site, and then the rest of Aimbot were like, alright, we'll come A side. Little did they know, we had Blaha waiting for them, picked up the first few kills with Spectre, and managed to get the ace as well. Absolutely wonderfully well played by them.
I mean, I was going to say, especially with the Spectre, that is quite an impressive feat to pull off, especially when the entire enemy team had Vandals. I think that is definitely, I think, going to kick the energy and the motivation back into Bubble Bath and kind of give them the kick that they need, the spark that they need to be able to kind of bring it back and try and get some more rounds on the board, as we are 10-5 into this game. You know, Aimbot Angels have not won a single round this half just yet, and it was 10-2, and now it's 10-5. It's looking like Bubble Bath might be able to bring this back. What do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, Aimbot Angels, the stocks have gone down a little bit. We're seeing them, you know, quite a few sheriffs, not too much of a heavy buy this round. I think, you know, hopefully Bubble Bath definitely have the upper hand going into this round. Obviously, we see them playing a bit slower now. They have the disadvantage with weapons. They're playing this round a little bit slower, but they've all kind of funneled themselves into B lobby. We did see a tag there by the Killjoy. Okay, so we're going to see now that obviously they're making a bit of noise. The Jet's going to dash forward, and the rest of Bubble Bath's going to see that they're there, and it's a pick from a Killjoy intensity. There's nanoswarm grenades. Hate to see it.
You really do, but I mean, it is giving Aimbot Angels the sight that they need. We did see from Aosuke, you know, that Killjoy utility kill, but is it going to be quite enough? I mean, it's a 4v5 and Savina getting a lovely little kind of wall bang onto the enemy Brimstone as well. The Skyblind going out towards Birdhouse that they know, and Headless getting a little pick onto Osuke as well, and Queen of Spades and Blaha also getting picks for their side, but it's not looking like Aimbot Angels are going to be able to pull through. It was close from Asher with a lovely little pick onto Queen of Spades, but Bubble Bath get themselves a 6th round, now only 4 rounds away from tying up the score with Aimbot Angels. This is what we wanted to see out of them, I think. This is what we expected from two teams at this level. And I mean, I guess we're really seeing that this map is, I guess, a bit more defender-sided for both of these teams.
Absolutely. I think obviously if you're going to have the Killjoy anchoring on that B side, we saw obviously on the early stages of that round when anybody just tried to get on that side, that one of them got picked off quite early, going down to a 4v5 because of that Killjoy utility. I think that, you know, Bubble Bath are getting a bit more worth for their money with that Killjoy utility so far into this other half.
Yes, I agree. And I mean, we're seeing Blaha pull out the operator here. Just kind of holding towards mid, making sure no one's coming through there, but Asher already making their way into the B site, getting towards that lever, shutting that door, shutting the bubble bath out of their sights, making sure that they cannot get anywhere close. They do end up getting the spike down as well, and it's looking like Blaha is planning on doing something with the Bladestorm and manages to get one, but gets taken down by Headless straight away with the Hunter's Fury. And we're seeing Pi kind of push into them, but they don't quite get the pick. And Headless is still lurking towards mid. Asher getting a lovely little pick, and a Headless finishing off Luna as well. A nice round from Aimbot Angels, maybe getting the motivation back into gear, giving them the first round of this half that they've managed to get, which, I mean, they're only 2 points away from being able to win this map, and we're seeing a timeout come out from Bubble Bath. So what do you think they're going to be kind of discussing here to make sure that they're going to be able to actually bring this back and possibly win the game?
Absolutely. I think, like you mentioned, I mean, first round of a half for side of Aimbot Angels, you know, we've seen a very dominating defensive style so far for Bubble Bath. They've been very successful in their retakes, been very successful so far on this defending side. However, you know, you don't want to let Aimbot Angels run away with it, as we saw them doing in the attacking half. They're able to play that post plant quite successfully. I think hopefully Bubble Bath, they're thinking about their plans going forward. They're thinking about what they need to do with these post plants and retakes. I'm hopefully going to have a good game plan going forward.
Yes, I agree. And I mean, after that round that we just saw from Aimbot Angels, it's looking like their pace is getting they're getting their pace back, definitely, is what I think. And obviously Aimbot Angels are quite an aggressive team, I'd say. So we're just gonna have to see how Bubble Bath can kind of counter that, especially because when Bubble Bath were attacking, they were also very aggressive, but the Aimbot Angels were able to kind of adapt to that and make sure that they can kind of prevent them from pushing in too far. But we're seeing Blaha go for a very aggressive push and almost didn't work, but Asher and Nut getting 2 picks already, and it's already a 5v3. We're only about 30 seconds into the round, and I mean, Aimbot Angels already have a massive man advantage. Luna just managed to get one with the Spectre from that range, which is quite impressive, I'd say, but the Aimbot Angels are just going to get the site here straight away. Bella trying to make sure that they don't push through grass or through tree. The lockdown does come out from Bubble Bath, but the Hellfire is there to just take that down straight away. Headless getting a lovely pick onto Luna as well, leaving this as a 3v2, make that a 3v1. Adult 2K looking to kind of redeem their team, but Bella takes him down straight away. 12-6. We are on match point for Aimbot Angels already. Wow, I mean, it feels like this game has barely started, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we saw such a dominating fashion from Aimbot Angels on the attacking round on that defense. But I think that, like, you know, we saw a couple rounds now getting on the board for Aimbot Angels on the attack. It started to get like a little bit scary for Bubble Bath. Bubble Bath, they didn't do so good on the attack, on the defense rather, and you know, the timeout hasn't done too much for them. We saw that aggressive push that lost them 2 picks initially down A main. But we'll have to see how the rest of this round goes out. As we're saying, obviously the attacker Killjoy ult come out immediately, and a lot of ults being traded for both sides.
Ooh, a lovely pick from Asher onto Blaha, almost like a pre-fire, just out of basic game knowledge. The Hellfire from the Brimstone's both coming out, I believe. Asher and Bella both getting picks. Pyke is left in a 1v3 with a Spectre to their name, hoping to bring it back, but no. 13-6. Wow. That is map 1. already done and dusted for the Aimbot Angels. Wow, that was incredibly impressive, I like to say. What do you think are our main takeaways from map 1 there?
I think that, we talked about it earlier, the team compositions. It was really going to come down to who could play the team composition better. And yeah, we did see a bit of variety in the Sky pick and the KO pick, but obviously Aimbot Angels came in with such a good dominating defense and then pulled it back on the attack as well. Like they were so dominating in fashion. I think it's pretty safe to say they could play the team composition better. However, for our next map, I believe it's Haven, there's definitely a lot more variety in perhaps picks and what you could play. There's a lot more creativity with both of the sides. You have all the sites where you can push on. It gives you a lot more options, I think.
Definitely, yeah. But after such a dominating map from the Aimbot Angels, I'm just curious whether or not they're going to be able to keep this up. But as we say that, we're just going to have to wait and see, because we are going to take a quick break, but then we will be right back with you guys for map 2, which is Haven.
I don't want to fall for you, oh no, but you make it so hard. Watching you dance all night, baby, is making me fall hard. Trying to take a deep breath, but I just can't control my lungs. Ooh. Trying to hide my cold sweat, but I just keep on talking in tongues. It's a funny situation that I got myself into. I can't help my own frustration, 'cause I think I like it. I think I like it. Got nothing to lose. 'Cause I think I like it. Tell me if you like me too. How can you move the way you do? It's making me crazy, yeah. You're moving just like you own the room. Make it look easy. I wanna take you away to somewhere we can be by ourselves. I see you looking my way, so maybe it's not all in my head. It's a funny situation that I got myself into. I can't help my own frustration, 'cause I think I like it. I think I like it. Got nothing to lose. 'Cause I think I like it. Tell me if you like me ride.
And welcome back, everybody, to the Women and Non-Binary Valorant playoffs. Currently, we've just had our first map Ascent, and it was a pretty dominant fashion for our team Aimbot Angels up against Bubble Bath. I'm joined alongside, back by Crystal. Sorry to cut you off there a little bit.
It's okay. No, definitely. I mean, it was especially a very dominant start for Aimbot Angels, having that 10-2 half. But I think we have to point out is that Ascent was actually Bubble Bath's map pick. And having Aimbot Angels be so dominant on a map pick that wasn't theirs, it really makes us wonder how they're going to do on Haven, which is their map pick. So what do you think that Aimbot Angels are going to come out swinging even harder for this map?
Well, I think by our knowledge, we know that Bubble Bath will be attacking first, and Aimbot Angels are on the defending side, which with Haven, with all three of those sites, you know, you've got to spread out quite a lot. You've got to spread out your utility. So I reckon obviously Bubble Bath might have a bit of an advantage with their pushes. However, you know, like we said, Haven is Aimbot Angels' pick, so you know this might be a bit more favorable for them. So I think it's going to come down maybe a bit to team compositions and how the attacking is going to go. So what kind of team composition do you think we're going to see on this map?
Ooh, I mean, Haven's one of those maps where you can kind of pull out anything and it can kind of work. Like, you can see a Breach a lot of the time on this map. You can see an Omen, an Astra. Sova's quite a popular pick on this map as well. Killjoy is usually seen as, like, you know, the primary sentinel as well. But obviously, duelists, a lot of people play the Jet on this map, but also maybe we might see a Neon, we might see a Phoenix, we might see a Raze, who knows? And I mean, as we get into this agent select, we're going to be having a look at the map picks. We're seeing hovers of Omen and Sage for the side of Bubble Bath already. And I mean, Aimbot Angels have already locked in the Breach, which is something that I was hoping we'd see. Because back when I used to play some competitive Valorant, Um, Breach was quite a popular pick for this map, especially, the Rolling Thunder is always really helpful for retaking. So, I mean, what are your thoughts on these picks that we're seeing so far?
I think that obviously we could see hovering the fade and the raise to be locked in. Like you mentioned of the breach. I think breach obviously you have quite the nice lineups of the concussive blast of the flashes. I know that there's like the specific one we could do between A Link and sewer. I think that flashes and utility from breach are going to be definitely interesting. I think utility from fade's going to be interesting to see how that plays out as well. And also on the side of the duelists, I think that Raze as opposed to the Jet is definitely going to be an interesting one to see how it plays out with the C4ing onto site with the double C4 packs and the ult. It's going to be interesting to see perhaps where the difference in the ult usage goes.
Yes, I agree, and I mean, I'm actually quite sad that Bubble Bath aren't going for this Fade pick because I was basically a Fade one trick when I played Valorant, so I was really hoping I'd get to see some Fade gameplay here, but no, we are looking like we're getting an Astra from the side of Bubble Bath. We're seeing actually relatively different team comps from both sides. I mean, where both of them are running breaches, both of them are running killjoys, but apart from that, everything else is different. Now, the matchup that I want to point out here is Asher and Queen of Spades. As you said, we saw Queen of Spades on the Sky last time, but now she's on the Rays. So, what do you think this matchup between the Jet and the Rays is going to be like?
I mean, I definitely think it's going to be, and pun not intended, explosive. I think that obviously there's going to be quite a lot of space and chaos with like the C4 packs and with the you're going to hear that voice line and you're going to want to run away. I think as well, like Raze is definitely going to be good for clearing those corners of the boombox. I think Jet's going to be beneficial for smoking off corners and entering onto that site. Queen of Spades on the Raze, it's going to be an interesting pick. I think definitely Haven is a good map for it, and we're going to have to see how it plays out. I'm quite interested though in seeing how both the breaches are going to be using their utility. And additionally, we have a difference in smokes. We have the Brimstone versus, we've got an Astra. And I think, we spoke a little bit after game of the Brimstone maybe not being as interesting of a smoker, but Astra, is that going to be a better pick, do you think?
I actually used to play Astra quite a bit as well when I played Valorant, especially on this map. So with Astra, her having kind of that global reach across the entire map, being able to place down her stars and her utility wherever she wants is going to be really, really beneficial for Bubble Bath, especially on a map like Haven, where it's one of the bigger maps in the game, with the 3 sides and everything. So I think having that map-wide reach wherever you are is going to be very beneficial for Bubble Bath. But as we get into this pistol round, we are just going to have to see how this map plays out. We're seeing Bubble Bath on the attack going for, this kind of C execute. Bella is holding this by herself, unfortunately, with her killjoy utility coming to help, but the rest of her team is coming to help her very fast. Queen of Spades with the satchels coming in straight away, getting a pick onto Bella, but Safina trading right away onto Baha, so they have no more initiator for the side of Bubble Bath. The Sage Wall coming in to wall off Garage, but Not is still here, lurking, but Queen of Spades takes him right down. And it's a 3v1 for the side of Aimbot Angels. And even though Watsuki didn't get a pick onto Asher, Headless takes them down right away. And round one is already over, going to the Aimbot Angels.
Yeah, I think that, I said we wouldn't see it too much, but I stand corrected. We're seeing the Killjoy lurking a little bit, come around behind. We saw him obviously Bubble Bath get a pick there just at the end, but it wasn't enough. Obviously, Bubble Bath took a very aggressive approach there through C Long and shut down the Killjoy very quickly. We saw obviously Queen of Spades jumping with those C4 packs onto site, and now they're opting to play a bit more towards the C site.
Yeah, and we've already seen some of the breach utility come out from both sides here. Headless kind of making their way more towards sewers on A side, trying to kind of lurk and get a pick, but Luna is looking at it very closely. Headless not quite able to get the shots off to maybe get a few picks onto the rest of Bubble Bath, but not getting a lovely little pick with the blast. and Blaha does get one, but not with the judge just getting pick after pick after pick. You know, we were talking earlier about how we wish we saw a judge on Ascent, but here on Haven, Nut has brought it out and has managed to get a 4K with it.
Who needs a Brimstone and a Judge when you have a Breach and a Judge? That Brimstone, Smoke definitely came in handy. You know, the Breach was able to just get in closer with the smokes. Bubble Bath, a little bit confused there, a bit stuck in the corner, and Suez definitely didn't have much space to move around. And obviously, Breach coming through with the Judge, bang, 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 nice little 4K there.
Definitely, yeah, and I mean, that was Aimbot Angel's force round, and Bubble Bath were on a save, but last time on Ascent, even on like the only round that they won was this one. So we're just gonna have to look to see if they can like put this round on the board for them as well. We're seeing Nug kind of lurking towards mid with the Sheriff, but Queen of Spades is keeping a very close eye. Maybe they could throw a paint shell in there or something to kind of clear it out, but it's not looking like it. You know, Nut still has the judge in hand, just waiting for someone, hoping and praying that someone walks right by, but it's not looking like it. It's looking like Bubble Bath are taking a very slow approach to this round. And I mean, we are seeing Queen of Spades come up really close, and that is just really unfortunate timing for Nut, you know, peeking without their gun in hand almost as soon as the entire enemy team came coming through mid, but Safina getting a lovely little 2 picks. Queen of Spades does take him down though, and we're looking at a 3v3 for both sides. Bella coming from more towards the garage side, and Queen of Spades does get tagged by the recon drone as well, so they know where they are, but a lovely little trade. It's still a 2v2. It is a 2v1. It's a 1v1. You know, Altosuke does have a Vandal, but now so does Headless, but a lovely bit of crosshair placement from the Killjoy on the side of Bubble Bath. And, you know, Headless just goes down. 1 round on the board for the side of Bubble Bath. That was quite nice, actually.
Absolutely. I love the way that Bubble Bath played back. They played it slowly. They made a little bit of noise C. The Killjoy turned their attention towards C. The players from B also turned their attention towards Garage and C Long. And Bubble Bath played it slowly, making their way up B main. Obviously, I think, you know, it was quite unfortunate with the judge in hand getting caught off guard. And obviously, I think with the Asher utility as well, you know, they had the concussive, they had the smokes. And it was just, in general, very nicely well played by Bubble Bath there.
Definitely, yeah. We're seeing the Hunter's Fury come out from Luna already. Not Luna, sorry. The Sova on the side of Aimbot Angels we saw the Hunter's Fury come out already, and I mean, Queen of Spades has already gone down, leaving them in a 4v5 for this round. Headless getting a lovely little tag onto one of the members of Bubble Bath as well with that recon drone. They're already blocked off by Brimstone smokes as well, but I mean, this leaves Aimbot Angels with not many smokes left. Now, that's a good thing about having Astra as well. Is sure her stars may not regenerate, but she does have the ability to be able to use all of her stars as smokes. So hopefully we can see Bubble Bath use that to their advantage, but we're seeing a few little peaks from the side of both teams, actually not managing to get one, but Addiction for the side of Bubble Bath does take him down straight away. It's a 4v3 for the side of Aimbot Angels, but Bubble Bath are just playing this so slowly. They're trying to decide where exactly they want to go, but they only have 30 seconds left. It's looking like they're going to have to commit A-side here, but Headless is still here, holding the site. It's looking like they might be leaving, however. We do have the Killjoy kind of coming up first, trying maybe to entry, but they only have 15 seconds left, and they're going to need to just run onto site and get the spike down. Altosuke does get the pick onto Headless, and we're getting the spike down as well, but a lovely little swing from Asher, taking the Killjoy down straight away. Now moving more towards Heaven, but Luna's kind of expecting this, but Addiction and Luna are just kind of taking down the rest of Aimbot Angels one by one, and But the final pick by Luna, Asher goes down, and that's a second round on the board for the side of Bubble Bath. This is more like it. This is, I think, what we wanted to see from them last map.
Absolutely, I agree. I think Bubblebuff learned from their previous mistakes in the last map, playing aggressively, trying to get these fast rounds, getting themselves with a spike down, but not being able to close out on those post plants. I think obviously now we've seen in the round before that they're playing slower, and they might have left it a tiny bit last minute, but with a little bit of timing, they managed to entry onto that A site quite nicely, and they got the Sova down, and they were able to clear up quite nicely with the addition to that Astra utility.
I agree, and I mean, it's looking like these slower paced plays are working out for Bubble Bath a bit more than the aggression was on Ascent, but we're seeing more of a mid push here. The spike has been left in window in case they want to rotate out. The Sage might be looking to pick it up, and indeed she does. But Headless gets caught out by the Killjoy turret already and gets taken out straight away by Aosuke on the Killjoy, using their turret to their advantage, being able to, get that early information and ensure that they get the pick straight away. But nice little blind from Blaha, ensuring that there's no one around. And I mean, Luna nearly gets taken out by the breach instantly, and we're seeing a molly be put down from the other Brimstone. Asher getting a nice little pick with the Blade Storm, but Addiction and Blaha are just taking them down one by one. But Safina just get a pick, but Luna gets another one straight back, and Safina is left in a 1v1. Now it's a 1v1, but the Killjoy utility, the lockdown just manages to kill them, but they don't quite know where they are, but then they find them hiding in stairs. A third round for Bubble Bath. This is looking very good for Bubble Bath, I think.
Absolutely. A little bit of a close call there, Killjoy, you saw that, tagged someone in the ult. A little bit confused as to where that could have gone very badly for Bubble Bath. But I think that was such an explosive round with picks coming on the board so quickly. And I think that entry pick initially with the turret anchoring there and being able to catch them off so quickly, that first pick, I think that definitely proved very beneficial for Bubble Bath opening into that round as they're able to find success on that A site. Obviously now you can see them look towards the C site, which / garage, but didn't go well for them too much initially. But Nuts looking to play very aggressive currently on this angle, so maybe we'll have to see whether or not they're going to read this.
Definitely, and I mean, they already get a lovely little pick onto the Rays, leaving Bubble Bath without a duelist, and trying to enter without a duelist can be quite challenging, but they might be able to do it. But Safina is just executing these players coming through garage one by one. It's now a 4v2 for the side of the Aimbot Angels, and I mean, it's looking like, Bubble Bath were gonna get the lead, but Aimbot Angels have said no. Addiction does get the rest onto Queen of Spades as well, getting them their duelist back, looking to hopefully make the entry a bit easier. The Rays does have the showstopper at the ready in case they want to go for some early aggression onto one of their entries, but Nut is lurking through the window. Safina is positioned more towards garage. And I mean, this is a really nice angle for Nut to hold, but are they going to be able to get any picks from it? Yes, they do. They get one, but Addiction trades right back. But Safina is there to shut down Addiction right away. But do they know that Aosuke is right in window, just following after their teammates? I'm not sure that they do. It's a 3v1 for the side of Aimbot Angels, and Aosuke does have the spike and is going towards A side, but you can see on the map here that the enemy Killjoy's setup is right here. It's looking like they might just be looking to save their weapon, because I mean, I would too if I was on Aosuke's position, but obviously the entire Killjoy setup on the side of the A site would make it very, very difficult, if not impossible, to push that site without any kind of losses or damages. So I think that was a very, very clean round from the side of Aimbot Angels, and definitely what they needed to get, to kick them back into gear, I think.
Absolutely. Like Bubble Bath from round before, that entry pick then when they got caught out by the turret, I think Aimbot Angels being able to push forward like Nut did with using that breach utility and get that entry pick was really good in that beginning of that round. And, Bubble Bath suffered quite a lot from it, because obviously they had to save that round because they didn't, I mean, the 1v3 would have been nice to see, but obviously Aimbot Angels were able to pick them off and Bubble Bath suffered from it.
Yes, and I mean, we're seeing Aimbot Angels kind of trying to go for a push on them through Seaside, but Asher and that Breach take a lot of damage from that, you know, them only being left with about 2 HP each, which is going to put the Aimbot Angels at a very big deficit for this round. And I mean, if we look at the side of Bubble Bath, Severa ends up getting 2. Asher gets another one as well on 2 HP as well. Never mind. Aimbot Angels are here to make me kind of eat my words, and they think, oh, you think Bubble Bath are going to win this round? Absolutely not. It's up to Luna and Blaha left on the side of Bubble Bath to be able to push this round in their favor, but Safina is coming up behind them. The Breach Flash comes in, and Headless gets a pick onto Luna, and Luna gets one, but Safina, obviously, with the flank, is right back there to secure the round for Aimbot Angels. Wow, that was, it was looking like Bubble Bath were going to take that one, but then Aimbot Angels came right back and took it straight back.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that C's not proving too lucky currently for Bubble Bath. I think that they've tried to push for this before, and they lost a couple picks there. They had dropped for Spike even, and then it was quite easy for Aimbot Angels just to be, look, we know where the Spike is. Come try get it. Come on, I dare you. And then, you know, Bubble Bath just ended up getting collapsed on it. I think, obviously, I mean, I was about to say it. If you're Bubble Bath, I think you probably try to look entry to another site even.
Yes, most definitely. And I mean, this recon dart has been very nice and revealing. A lot of the players of Bubble Bath in A main. A lovely little aftershock coming in to kind of clear out behind that box, as it is quite a popular position for people to kind of lurk and play there. But we're seeing most players on the side of Aimbot Angels kind of more positioned towards the A side, but not exactly on the A side, as it is looking like Bubble Bath are going to be pushing this A side in hopes that, you know, they can kind of, maybe they're thinking of some quick executes they can perform with, you know, the Rolling Thunder that they have for the Breach. They do also have the Astral Wall and the Showstopper available for the side of Bubble Bath, whereas, you know, the Aimbot Angels do have the Hellfire and the Rolling Thunder themselves as well, so maybe you will get to see some counterplay between the two breaches here.
Yeah, I think Bubble Bath going back to their proverbial roots, so to speak, playing this a little bit slower, although now obviously we've got Queen of Spades dashing on that side, double C forward packing, not going to find anything, but a lot of ults here being traded out for both sides.
You know, like I was talking about, we did see the Rolling Thunder come up from the side of Bubble Bath, and unfortunately it did kind of catch their teammate Addiction in the mix, and the Hellfire coming out from Aimbot Angels as well. And here's the Rolling Thunder from the Aimbot Angels at the same time, and they're just taking them down one by one, but no one checks Graffiti, and it's a 4v1. Luna manages to take one down, but gets taken down as well by Safina. Wow, I mean, the ultimate usage from both teams there was great. You know, Bubble Bath trying to use the Rolling Thunder to their advantage to get them entry onto site, but the Hellfire coming down from the Aimbot Angels and then the Rolling Thunder straight after just meant that there was nothing really that Bubble Bath could do to kind of hold that site.
Absolutely. Bubble Bath played it quite nicely. They bided their time. They played it slowly, which is what's got them success in previous rounds. And then obviously, you know, you have the Rolling Thunder, you put out the Razor, and they go absolutely running. And they get onto this site, but they just bide their time a little bit. Aimbot Angels bide their time. They say, you want to play it slow? We'll play it slow too. And then, you know, they send out their Rolling Thunder, and it all comes crashing down for Bubble Bath.
Definitely, yeah. And I mean, shout out to the little teddy bear we saw in the window a few minutes ago. Thank you, Observer, for giving us that amazing content. But as we're seeing from Bubble Bath, we are seeing a bit more of a C push as well. A double satchel from Queen of Spades trying to get that quick and easy entry. The aftershock does go towards Garage side as well, and you know, the Breach is hiding more towards on top of the box. The Sage Wall comes out Garage side as well, and not with an aftershock of their own. A lovely little recon dart kind of revealing everyone on the side of Bubble Bath, and a lovely little wallbang from Asher as well. The Queen of Spades is just taking everyone down one by one, but Safina and Arosuke with the Guardian getting 2 clean headshots. Lovely, lovely stuff from the Killjoy on the side of Bubble Bath, but you know, Safina's just trying to stick it, but it's not quite going to work. A 4th round on the board for Bubble Bath. You know, it was looking like Aimbot Angels had that in the bag, but Bubble Bath just brought it back straight away.
Yeah, it's definitely looking like a closer map perhaps than the first one. I think Bubble Bath definitely did quite good in that round for when they, it was a 2v1. They played it slowly. They had, maybe the smoke did help him. It almost looked like Aim by Ages were going to try stick that, and that wouldn't have looked too good then if Bubble Bath had let them get away with that. But yeah, they played it quite nicely. They were spamming through the smoke, and they were able to find the pick.
I mean, definitely, you know what they say, pros don't fake, and lovely little trade from Safina and Queen of Spades. They're getting a pick down each, but Blaha also taking down, Bubble Bath just taking advantage of these wall bangable angles on the B side. Blaha taking a tiny bit of damage from the Nano Swarm, but it's not enough to do lethal damage, and the Hunter's Fury just come out. Asher making sure that, the server does not take any damage while they're in that Hunter's Fury. Queen of Spades trying to get the plant down, but Headless with the Shock Dart trying to chip away at their health, but it's a 2v3 for the side of Aim by Angels. Luna lurking towards, the more backside of this site, with the still has stars available for them to use as well. And Headless does take down Luna, but Queen of Spades takes down Asher at the same time, and Headless is in a 1v2. They have a suspicion of where they could be, but is it going to be enough? Not quite. Aosuke, with this Guardian, has been doing some pretty impressive things, getting multiple picks with this Guardian, and our scoreline is now tied up at 5-5. 2 rounds left on this half. Do you think we're gonna see this end at 6-6?
I think it would definitely be interesting and quite amusing, if we had an equal score for the entire round. I mean, again, it's definitely been a much closer match compared to map 1. I think that so far for both sides, it's been pretty even, and not either team's been able to get a massive advantage, which I'm hoping Bubble Bath's mental has been kept to the game a little bit more. I can't imagine that last match it would have done them any favors.
Definitely, yeah, and I mean, it's looking like the confidence for Bubble Bath is coming right back this map. But Headless with a lovely little spray down onto Queen of Spades, yet again leaving Bubble Bath without their duelist to enter the site. The Sage does have the Resurrection available, and Luna is still holding on to the Astral Wall that they've had for a very, very long time in this half. I mean, the Blade Storm is popped from the side of Ember Angels, and the lockdown is also available. So there is retake capability with the ultimates that they have on the side of Ember Angels. But we're just going to have to see Asher with a lovely little pick onto Blaha and another pick onto Luna as well. It's looking like, Addiction is going to have to use this Resurrection on someone, getting the wall in mid, and ends up using the res on Blaha. But they still don't have a duelist on their side. So what do you think they're going to do?
I mean, right now it's currently looking like, we have Asher with the Jet out. It looks like Blaha are going to have to move, as they're going to be at risk of having the rest of the members of Aim by Angels collapse in on them. We're seeing, obviously, 2 of our members in Garage and the Jet holding B. And we've got the Killjoy locking down this A site. I don't know how successful this is going to go for Bubble Bath if they try to push this.
Yeah, no, and I mean, Bella's already set up a complete Killjoy setup on the A site, and with only 10 seconds left on the clock, Aosuke just get a lovely pick onto Asher, but, the stun comes in, and so does the lockdown. Bubble Bath don't quite have anything that's going to be able to counter this lockdown, and Headless is just ready and waiting for anyone that's going to be walking out of the lockdown.
Enemy remaining.
They are almost on watch duty to make sure that no one kind of gets out of this alive, and on the final pick onto Addiction, that leaves Headless with a 4K and Bella with the defuse. Wow, what a great retake from the side of Ember Angels.
Absolutely. Headless with a beautiful 4K there. We saw the Killjoy ult come down, and obviously Headless lying there in wait, finds the picks. I think maybe a bit of communication error on Bubble Bath's side for not quite peaking that to shut down Headless before he could get any more. I think obviously, it looked good for Bubble Bath. They got onto that site. They took a bit of damage with the Killjoy utility, but they managed to get there. They got the spike down, and then obviously Asher getting shut down was definitely very beneficial for them. But Headless lying in wait on that lurk, it's sealed the entire round for them, really.
Yes, totally. And I mean, we are seeing yet again another A push from the side of Bubble Bath. Headless is, lurking up more towards the mid side, coming in through window, looking to maybe hopefully get some sort of flank off, but Bella's turret has already gone down, and Bubble Bath are looking to get the orb, but Queen of Spades looking to answer the Headless's flank straight away, and Luna getting a pick onto Nut as well. It's now a 3v5 for the side of Aimbot Angels, and I mean, Bubble Bath have 4 ultimates to their name. Aimbot Angels have none. It's going to look like this is going to be quite an explosive round for Bubble Bath, especially if they're looking to use all their ultimates, because, I mean, we haven't seen this Astral Wall once all game so far, and they have had this wall for such a long time. We do have the Rolling Thunder from the Breach as well, a lockdown from the Killjoy, as well as a Showstopper from the Raze, and there is the lockdown. Speak of the devil. We get the lockdown straight from the side of Bubble Bath, but Bella's able to take it down with only a Guardian in hand. The lockdown is already taken down, which is going to make it a lot easier for Aimbot Angels to be able to kind of pull through and pull off this retake, especially because there's 5 people still alive on the side for Bubble Bath. And here comes the Showstopper. Azure getting 2, Zafina getting another one as well. There's the Rolling Thunder from the Breach as well in Garage. Is all up to Bella and Asher to see if they can get the defuse, and it is halved, but it's not looking like they're going to be able to get the defuse. And oh wow, what an incredible clutch from Adosuke with that incredible nano swab on the spike. We are indeed ending this half at 6-6. Wow, what do you think of that round, Evelyn?
Wow, that was, I mean, there was so many times where I really thought it could go either way. I was like, oh, maybe Bubble Bath's going to win this. Maybe Aimbot Angels is going to win this. I mean, it looked very good for the start of Bubble Bath by them being able to take off Headless immediately. Queen of Spades coming in, getting an alert, getting those initial 2 picks, putting it down to a 3v5. But then, obviously, then you have all the ults come out. Like you said, it was a very explosive round. We had all those ults come out. From the side of Aimbot Angels, and on top of that, Bubble Bath's ults coming out. I think obviously, it was very explosive. We saw Bubble Bath being able to play that C-long post plant with the Killjoy utility, and that's what ended up saving them. Thank God for that, as that was quite close. But yeah, definitely explosive round.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, as we get into the second half, we now have Aimbot Angels on the attack. Asher already getting a lovely little entry onto the site and just clearing it out. Headless is now planting the spike as well. And it's just looking like the rest of Bubble Bath are going to kind of come together and try and commit to a retake that has everyone involved. Looking to not give Aimbot Angels too many 1v1s or too many duels, just to make sure that they have as fair of a fight as possible. But as we can see, a lot of Aimbot Angels are all bunched up together here. Asher getting a lovely 2, but Queen of Spades taking down Zafina. Bella getting another 2 as well, and Adosuke managing to take down 2 on site as well. It's Killjoy v Killjoy. Both of them are incredibly low, and I mean, Bella and Adosuke are just here to fight for each other, but it's not looking like Adosuke is going to be able to get the defuse, and Bella gets the pick anyways. A lovely little pistol round for Aimbot Angels there.
Absolutely. Aimbot Angels taking a little bit of a leaf out of Bubble Bath's book, like they did the round before the end of the half. We saw Bubble Bath playing with that C-long post plant, and Aimbot Angels saying, hey, we could do that too, and do the exact same thing. Killjoy v Killjoy. Aimbot Angels was clearly superior in that retrospective, and they take the first round in this half on the pistol. And now we're seeing them buying a little bit more. They're definitely going to have the upper hand going into this next half. They're looking to push more towards the C side, how they are going to be faced with that Killjoy utility.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I'm guessing they're thinking that the pistol round push worked for them so well that they're looking to go and do it again. Sure, the Killjoy utility is going to be a bit of a problem, but they can get it out straight away, as we have just seen. Adosuke is left defending this site by themselves with only a classic, but Asher with that Bulldog is just simply too dangerous. We see a Nanoswarm already being put onto the spike as well as a pre-post plant defense. But we see Headless kind of sneaking up towards CT, and as we can see, there are a lot of members of Bubble Bath towards CT, so they can just easily get some lovely run and gun picks just like that. Maybe replicate what Blaha did in the last map. But speaking of Blaha, they get a lovely pick onto Headless, but it's not looking like it's going to be quite enough. Queen of Spades does take down Asher, but they only have pistols to their name, and there's just so many members of their Aimbot Angels just all around them. Too much post plant, and it's not looking like they're going to be able to do it. 8-6 on the board to Aimbot Angels. What a round.
Absolutely, I agree. Like the pistol round before that, they did it back to back, played for that C-long post plant. And I think that definitely Bubble Bath were able to get a bit of that raise utility out. I'd like to see him use the boombox a little bit more. I think to maybe clear a few angles, get a bit of control back. I think that raise grenade was definitely pretty beneficial to getting that first entry pick, which led them to get onto that site in the first place. However, I think even letting Aimbot Angels get onto that site and get the spike down is something they need to stop. But even with that killjoy utility and the anchor on C site, it's not stopping them.
Yes, definitely, I agree. And we're now seeing Aimbot Angels almost go for a little bit of a default. We see Nut positioned quite far up onto the A side, but we see Headless kind of coming with the Jet more towards to join the rest of their team on A, but Addiction and Queen of Spades just waiting for someone to peek out from sewers to make sure that they're going to be able to kill them. We do see the aftershock come out, but A main is completely sage walled off. We do see the paint shells come out from Queen of Spades, hoping to get some good damage off, but Nut is already taking a lot of damage from the wallbang, and a lovely few shots from Asher with the Blade Storm. That was just an updraft and a click of the mouse and they were dead. That was very impressive, and as we're now seeing, it's now a 4v3 for the Aimbot Angels in this post plan. We're going to have to just see if Bubble Bath are going to be able to retake this. All of them are more towards CT side, and the recon drone does manage to give them the information that some of them are there, but I mean, they also get caught out by the recon dart as well. Asher is who we're looking for here, I think. We're going to have to see if they can do any other crazy plays with their Blade Storm, but it's just looking like Bubble Bath are saving. Do you think this is the right choice for them?
I mean, I think, yeah, as we can see, Bubble Bath looking to just look for his exit picks. So they find one already very nicely. Are we going to find two? As Asher has the nice, they are going to find two, and they end up finding three with a large play standing. Bella's long gone. I think definitely that was the right call. I think, the numbers weren't favourable at all to them, and they were able to do a lot of damage to Aimbot Angels in the process.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, getting those exit picks is definitely going to be beneficial towards Bubble Bath, giving them those extra credits and making sure that the economy and the buy isn't as good from the side of Aimbot Angels, but they're just able to get a full buy anyways. Bella's still holding onto that Bulldog to kind of make sure that the economy stays high, but as we can see, Aimbot Angels already have an ultimate on their side. They have the Hunter's Fury from the server raring and ready to go in case, Bubble Bath try and do anything crazy or too dangerous. They can have that Hunter's Fury for the post plant to just answer back straight to them. We're seeing the Brimstone come out. We're seeing the flashes come out from the breach. We're seeing recon drones. We're seeing stuns. We're seeing Ashley get a lovely pick on Luna, but unfortunately does go down to the Nano Swarm. And Arosuke is already getting pick after pick. The Hunter's Fury did get popped as well, but didn't quite find anything. Bella getting a lovely 2 picks onto Addiction, and Arosuke not getting a pick onto Queen of Spades as well. And it's just Blaha left with a lovely little collat. 2 down. It is a 1v1. Does Blaha know where Headless is on the map? Are they going to be able to clutch this out of Bubble Bath? Not quite. Headless with a lovely little play, securing the 10th round on the board for the side of Aimbot Angels. Wow, that was very close.
I mean, they might be headless, but I think they're definitely taking and clicking more heads to maybe gain one back. But, I absolutely think that, we're seeing Aimbot Angels getting those picks. I think they've been successful so far on the C site. They've, poor Arosuke, finding themselves anchoring with a site just to get killed immediately by Aimbot Angels, just walking straight up that C line all onto A, as we're seeing Queen of Spades going to chuck that raise grenade out maybe a little bit early, go look to see if they get any damage. We're going to say Aimbot Angels a little bit more spread out is kind of what I like to see, but Bubble Buff maybe not expecting it. Blaha maybe going to find a little bit of damage there, doesn't find a pick, and they're quite split right now at the moment on the map.
Definitely, yeah, and I mean, Blaha has definitely been one of those players that we've been looking out for on the side of Bubble Bath, pulling through with the ace last map and nearly a very, very impressive push last round as well, but we're just going to have to see if what they can do is enough. Obviously not getting much damage, but Addiction here is with the shorty and manages to take down Bella, but not trading right back. It is a 4v4. Make that a 3v4 as Arosuke gets a lovely pick onto Msafina with that Sheriff. Nut is incredibly low on 4 HP, and there is 2 people coming right for them through a main, but Asher is also there waiting just to kind of see if they can get any picks, and they do onto Queen of Spades. but I don't know if Aimbot Angels know that Luna is lurking towards the CT side here. It's looking like while they are quite low, they might be able to get some good damage off. And I mean, Nut ends up getting a pick onto Blaha as well, despite being on 4 HP. And I mean, that's the round. Asher finishing off Luna, and it's 11-6 for Aimbot Angels. Wow. I mean, Aimbot Angels are just looking so dominant these past few games. Do you think there's any way that Bubble Bath could bring this back?
I mean, we did start the half with 6-6, and Aimbot Angels currently walking away with it. They're proving very beneficial to getting the spike down and finishing up the round, which Bubble Bath struggled to do. I think, obviously, with the kill, they're struggling to find space on the site. They're struggling to hold that position. As Aimbot Angels are just like, they're just coming in and clearing anything in their way, in their path. I'm hoping that Bubble Bath might be able to find a little bit of ground. They've got the Killjoy lockdown, and they've got the Astral, which we haven't seen at all this game. It would be nice to see it. I think that might do some favors for them, as we know, we're seeing Aimbot Angels looking again for this A hit.
Definitely, yes. And I mean, we see the lockdown coming out from Bella in hopes to give, Bubble Bath a little bit, Aimbot Angels a little bit more leeway in being able to get this site. And like you said, the Astral Wall hasn't been used by Luna once. This lockdown does manage to get Addiction caught and suppress, but it would be great to see the Astral Wall come out from Luna, as the Astral Wall is such an important piece of utility. We do see the lockdown come out from the side of Bubble Bath as well, and I mean, Headless just takes down 2 straight away, and unfortunately does go down to Luna as they get detained, but it's currently a 3v3. Safina does have the molly ready straight away, but it doesn't quite hit. Queen of Space getting a lovely pick onto Bella, but it's not going to be able to take down, Blaha, and Luna just taking down the rest of Aimbot Angels one by one, 11-7. This is what we wanted to see. Sure, a lot of ultimates did get used up by both sides, but I think that was a pretty clean round from Bubble Bath there.
Absolutely. It's nice to see the Astral utility come out a little bit. I think that Bubble Bath were definitely able to find their space back more on that site. I think that was good to see them getting those picks and, just again, being able to hold the site and get a little bit of space. They weren't just letting Aimbot Angels walk all over them, so to speak.
Absolutely, yeah. And I mean, it's really just going to be how both of these teams use the rest of their ultimates to see if Aimbot Angels can either close the series out or if Bubble Bath can bring this back. And like I said, the Astral Wall hasn't been used all game, and we'd absolutely love to see it, as it's such an important piece of utility. The Rolling Thunder does come out from Blaha, as well as the Killjoy setup from the Rolling Thunder came out from the side of Aimbot Angels. Headless going in with the recon drone, trying to spot out any of the other players. Does see 2 towards CT. Luna getting a pick onto Nut, and the Hunter's Fury coming out from Headless as well. Not quite tagging up anyone, but I mean, Aimbot Angels are holding this out. The Showstopper coming in for Queen of Space, but Asher taking them down right away. Headless getting 2 lovely picks onto the rest of Bubble Bath, but I mean, Bella and Safina are just waiting here to see what's going to happen. Blaha, a lovely pick right there. And Safina getting an incredible collab, killing both Blaha and Luna and putting Aimbot Angels at 12 points. We're seeing the one match point yet again. What an incredible play from Safina.
Aimbot Angels going back to basics on that C-site hit definitely works out quite well for them. I think that, it got a little bit close to them there at the end, but a lovely collateral by the Brimstone to secure that round for them. I think that C is definitely a more successful site for them, although we are seeing Adosuke setting up that utility gun on the C site, although that anchor hasn't gone too well from previously. But it is looking like they're backing off to Garage, and, Asher with the ult out immediately. Those jet knives are going to prove to be lethal, but there's nobody there on C site. They're all looking Garage. We know that it doesn't go too well for Bubble Bath when they let Aimbot Angels get the spike down and go into these post plants. They're on site already. Luna getting a nice pick there at the beginning. It does make the numbers more favourable, but Headless are going to look to get the spike down quite early.
Absolutely, yeah. And the Killjoy utility from the Bubble Bath did put down to kind of prevent Amber Angels from coming into the site, getting used up so quickly just means that there's no other util for them to use, and Bella getting a lovely 2 picks onto Blaha and Luna. Ashley cleaning up Addiction as well. The Queen of Spades managing to get one, and that is it. That is the round, that is the game, and that is the series. Aimbot Angels taking a clean 2-0 away from Bubble Bath. Wow, those were some really incredible games, I think. But what are our kind of main takeaways from those 2 games?
I think that Bubble Bath, on both attacking and defending, they had a little bit of strength. They did manage to find on that ascent that they did good on that defensive side. I think Amber Angels were able to outdo them. They were able to find these picks on the defense and on the attack, even on Haven, on a map that wasn't per se favorable to them and not their pick. They're still able to execute and find those round wins on the attack and on the defense. I think ultimately, Bubble Bath, they had their strengths, however, they also had their weaknesses, which I think Amber Angels were definitely stronger and able to execute more effectively on.
Absolutely, yes. And I mean, we were seeing on both of these maps from the Amber Angels that they were just able to quickly just execute and kind of take down all the players on Bubble Bath that they needed to. And we were seeing some great players from Asher with the Blade Storm both games. Asher on their Jet is definitely something I think we need to look out for in the rest of this tournament. And I mean, it was great seeing Amber Angels have so much confidence in the plays that they were doing. It looks like they trusted each other. It looks like they all knew what they were doing. And obviously in a tournament like this, it's important to kind of have that togetherness and have that sort of, have that kind of, togetherness, like I said, because it's great when we see teams play like that. But let's talk about Bubble Bath briefly as well. While it did look a bit shaky for them during some moments, I do still think they played well. Like, what do you think we should take away from how Bubble Bath played today?
I think that Bubble Bath, going back to that Ascent game, they definitely were able to find those strengths on the defensive side. I think that defense, they have their specific strengths. I think even on the off picks per se, on going on the Haven, and they pick the Astra, they're able to find a lot of success when they're getting onto that B site and using the Astra utility. Obviously, we talked about it a little bit during that match that we didn't see much of the Astra wall coming down. I think that, if they used a bit more utility correctly, I think we'd see Bubble Bath do a lot more successful on their attack. However, 2-0 in a very dominating fashion for Aimbot Angels.
Definitely, yes. And as we end this series, we are going to go to a quick break, but afterwards we'll be back with you with an interview with Headless from the Aimbot Angels.
I don't wanna fall for you, oh no, but you make it so hard. Watching you dance all night, baby, is making me fall hard. Trying to take a deep breath, but I just can't control my lungs. Ooh. Trying to hide my cold sweat, but I just keep on talking in tongues. It's a funny situation that I got myself into. I can't help my own frustration, 'cause I think I like it. I think I like it. Got nothing to lose. 'Cause I think I like it. Tell me if you like me too. How can you move the way you do? It's making me crazy, yeah. You're moving just like you own the room. Make it look easy. I like it. I think I like it. Got nothing to lose. 'Cause I think I like it. Tell me if you like me
and welcome back everyone to the playoffs for University Esports Winter 2023 Women and Non-Binary Valorant season. We just finished quite a dominating series for Aimbot Angels, versus Bubble Bath, who Aimbot Angels won in a very dominating 2-0 fashion. We're currently joined by the sober player Headless, who, you might be headless, but you're certainly taking heads during that match. So how do you feel about your dominating win?
I'm just relieved. I'm just happy that, we had a lot of delays, and that definitely put a strain on the beginning felt a bit slow, but then we got into it, and I was like, yeah, let's go, we're doing it. And then I had to scream at Asher a lot because she was definitely zoning out quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But all the girls did great. I'm very, very proud of them. It's been a shaky few weeks, so it was nice to have a dominant win, so it was good.
No, definitely. And I mean, having that kind of dominating win is always nice, but obviously we haven't really seen how the rest of the tournament has gone. So what has Aimbot Angels' experience playing in the UK University Esports League been like so far?
Chaos. in one word, it's chaos. It was the first few weeks very, very shaky, very getting to know how each other plays. But I think I've definitely stepped up as an IGL again, because that's been hard getting back into, and the girls trust my calls. They listen to me giving out some ideas sometimes, but they go for it, so it works. We just try and trust each other. So take me through first week sometimes. I think we'll win.
Definitely some fighting talk coming out from your team there. So like you said, do you guys think you have the capability to win this whole thing?
Hurt for stepping in as a sub and best initiator out there.
Definitely, no. And I mean, yet again, congratulations to Aimbot Angels and all of you guys. You all played extremely well. But that is all we have for you guys today for the Women and Non-Binary Valorant UK and Ireland Esports League Valorant Season Playoffs. Thank you all so much for watching our game today. It was lovely getting to see Aimbot Angels and Bubble Bath play. Yet again, congratulations Headless, and congratulations to the rest of Aimbot Angels. But thank you everyone for watching, and we will catch you again next week.
Bye.
I wanna fall for you, oh no. But you make it so hard. Watching you dance all night, baby, is making me fall hard. Trying to take a deep breath, but I just can't control my lungs. Ooh. Trying to hide my cold sweat, but I just keep on talking in tongues. It's a funny situation that I got myself into. I can't help my own frustration, 'cause I think I like it. I think I like it. Got nothing to lose, 'cause I think I like you.